ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नारायण परावेदा देवा नारायणाङ्गजाः नारायण परालोका नारायण परामखाः नारायण परो योगो नारायण परन्तपः नारायण परज्ञानं नारायण परागतिः तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पदिः श्रोतव्यकीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयपूज्यश्च नित्यदा। जयति जगति मायां यस्य कायाधवस्ते वचनरचनमेकं केवलं शाकलय्य ध्रुवपदमपि यातो यत्कृपातो ध्रुवोऽयं सकलकुशलपात्रं ब्रह्मपुत्रं नतास्मि। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. We are seeing the Narada Bhakti Sutras, and I have completed up to 79 sutras. And in my last video, we saw that Sarvadha Sarva Bhavena Nischintya Bhagavaneva Bhajaniyaha. One must always worship Bhagavan or think about him without thinking about the worldly difficulties and sufferings and pain, because definitely everyone will have to face it. It's part of our prarabdha karma. So without always thinking about that, nischintya, without leaving it, one must always think about Bhagavan. Then it will act as a buffer to bear all our sufferings. And in the end, we will reach him. So that Narada said. And in this sutra, Sutra 80, he is telling that Sa kirtyamanaha shighram me avirbhavati anubhavayati cha bhaktan. Once when we do kirtana, that is, sing about his glories, tell about his glories, sing about his glories, then very soon he will manifest. Not only kirtana or any type of bhakti, that is, any type of bhakti means shravana, kirtana, doing puja, anything. When we involve our mind completely towards Bhagavan, then Shighram Avir Bhavati, that he will manifest. So then we will be able to realize that he is our self. When we have intense devotion towards Bhagavan, by any way we can connect with him, by singing about his glory, by hearing his glories, or reading these scriptures like this. But at all the times when we are completely attached with Bhagavan, completely absorbed in Bhagavan, then we will realize that at some stage we will realize that our true nature is not different from Bhagavan. This we will realize when we continuously connect with Bhagavan by some means. It can be by kirtana or by shravana or whatever means it may be. Now we cannot realize it. We think that Bhagavan is separate from us because all our mind is completely clouded by all the success, failure, pain, worry, suffering, insult and all that. That's why in the last sutra itself, Sage Narada said, one must leave it and connect with Bhagavan. Then we will realize that our nature is not different from Bhagavan. This one will realize. This is Abir Bhavati. He will manifest it, and the Bhaktan Anubhavayate. He will experience it. The Bhakta will experience it. And then he will realize that what the scriptures say is very true. So now all our thoughts cloud the mind. Bhagavan is the illuminator of all the thoughts. The thoughts cloud the mind. So now by bhakti, when the mind becomes calm, and when we realize that his nature is not different from our nature, then that is the realization. That is that final moment. Once when the mind is calm and serene, we will realize that Bhagavan is we can realize that illuminator as that self. Bhagavan is the eliminator of all the thoughts, that the self is the eliminator of all the thoughts, and that self is Bhagavan, we will realize. But we have to remove all these thoughts at first. Then we will realize that we are on Bhagavan, that is, this mind and body is on Bhagavan. We will realize it at that moment. Sage Narada says that then the knower, known, and the knowing object all are merged in that pure consciousness. Now the next sutra, Trisatyasya bhaktiryeva gariyasi, bhaktiryeva gariyasi. Among the three eternal things, that is among the, you can say it as the three eternal parts, that is the Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, or among all the different parts, Bhaktiryeva gariyasi. Gariyasi means it is greater. Bhakti is greater. Bhakti is greater. He is emphasizing that by repeating it 2 times. Why Bhakti is so supreme? We have seen already, because it is natural to us. Bhakti is love. Love towards Bhagavan. When it is turned towards Bhagavan, then it is Bhakti. So love comes naturally to us. It is inherent in us. So when something is natural, it will be very easy to practice. So it is very easy. We all have that love. So when we practice it towards Bhagavan, then it is very easy. It's not only for that reason, that feeling we get when we show that love towards Bhagavan, that is supreme. In jnana or in karma yoga, the feeling will be different. We cannot experience that feeling in the beginning stage itself. Only when we go to that advanced level, we can experience that oneness with Bhagavan in jnana. But in bhakti, in the initial stages itself, very soon itself, we can understand that feeling of oneness. And so it is so great. Not only that, some people, even after attaining mukti, they want to be bhaktas. They very well know that their self is Bhagavan, but still they love that self. Such powerful is the feeling of love. When we love something, we must imagine it is as a rupa or in the initial stages. But after that, when it advances, there will be no rupa, no mantra or anything. Only that feeling of love will be so shining. So that feeling, many people will like it. And they have practiced this type of bhakti towards Bhagavan even from the very young age itself. So even after attaining jnana, they do not want to merge in Bhagavan, they want to love Bhagavan. That's why many people go to Vaikuntha. Why in Vaikuntha, they always see Bhagavan in that beautiful form and see him, love him all the time. But when we merge in Bhagavan, then this Atma becomes universal. So that feeling, they may not like it. So the great bhaktas, sometimes they want to love Bhagavan, so they do not want mukti, they want to be great bhaktas. And it's actually a nice stage, a very good feeling, because at that time they know that Bhagavan is universal. Their attitude towards the world and the attitude towards Bhagavan will change definitely. That is, before understanding Bhagavan and before attaining jnana, they might have worshipped a personal god. They think that this is Bhagavan, he is in temple or he is in our puja room. It may be some personal thing. But after understanding Bhagavan, after attaining jnana, they very well understand that Bhagavan is this entire world. He is the self. He is not different from me. But still, they love him just for that feeling of love. It is a very wonderful stage because it is combination of jnana and bhakti. It's a very unique stage. And so the bhakti is always there. And so Narada says, Bhaktiryeva gariyasi, Bhaktiryeva gariyasi. Now in the next sutra, Sutra 82, Sri Narada tells about many ways to attain Bhagavan, many ways to connect with Bhagavan. He said that one must always connect with Bhagavan, leaving all the worries. So what are the ways, different ways in which we can connect with Bhagavan? And Sutra 83 is a very big sutra. He is telling about some 11 ways to connect with Bhagavan. Guna Mahatmya Masaktihi, Rupa Shakti, Puja Shakti, Smarana Shakti, Dasya Shakti, Sakhya Shakti, Vatsalya Shakti, Kanta Shakti, Atma Nivedana Shakti, Tanmayata Shakti, Rupa Ekata Abhi, Ekadashada Bhavati. There are 11 different ways in which we can connect to Bhagavan. So Sage Narada said that we must connect with Bhagavan. What all ways we can connect with him? He said 11 ways. The first is Guna Mahatmya Shakti, always telling about his divine glories, his nature, and the perfect example for is Narada, Vyasa, and Sukadeva. They all tell about the Mahatmya of his qualities. Bhagavatam itself completely about telling about his different nature, his different qualities that is explained through different ways. So Guna Mahatmya Shakti is that always telling about his glories. Rupa Shakti, attachment towards the Rupa of Bhagavan. Example is when Bhagavan Sri Rama entered Mithila, all the people there, they were so attracted by his Rupa. And they thought that I want to be with him. And that's why they, in the next Janma, the next birth, they were all born as Gopikas. The same way, when Bhagavan Sri Ram entered the Dandakaranya, many sages were there meditating. They are meditating on Brahman. But when they saw the form of Bhagavan, they thought that he was in the Rupa of Tapasvi Rupa only, not as a Rupa as a king. As a, in the Tapasvi Rupa itself, those rishis, they wanted to be with him. They wanted to live with this form, such a beautiful form. They all were perplexed by this Maya. So in the next Janma, they all became, when not in the next Janma, when Bhagavan Krishna was born, they were all born as Gopikas. So that is the Rupa Shakti. Because some people, they will be so much attracted by the form of Bhagavan. That is Rupa Shakti. In that way, we can connect with Bhagavan. At the later stages, that Rupa Shakti will merge into Jnana Shakti. So in the beginning, we can take any of this. Puja Shakti, love for worshipping Bhagavan. Some people, they just make it as a habit to get up early in the morning, worship Bhagavan with some flowers, incense, and all that. So that is the Puja Shakti. The example is Bharata and Ambarisha. Ambarisha, he never failed to do puja to Bhagavan. He will strictly follow the Vrata, Ekadashi Vrata, and then worship Bhagavan. And like that, only Bharata. He worshipped Bhagavan Sri Rama, the Paduka of Bhagavan Sri Rama. So that is Puja Shakti. Smarana Shakti, always remembering about Bhagavan and he is finding happiness and so much peace of mind in that alone. Perfect example is Prahlada and Dhruva. Prahlada, he used to think about Bhagavan. Sometimes he will laugh, thinking that Bhagavan is playing some jokes with him. Sometimes he will cry, Bhagavan has gone, where is he? So he will, I cannot connect with Bhagavan, so he will cry. Sometimes he will dance, sing, thinking about the glories of Bhagavan, thinking about how Bhagavan talked with him. So it's a nice way to connect with Bhagavan. Many people follow it. So just remembering that Bhagavan is near us and thinking about all that, we can also even try. So that is Prahlada and Dhruva, the greatest example for Smarana Shakti. Dasya Shakti. Dasya Shakti is doing service to Bhagavan. So connecting with Bhagavan and doing service to him, that is Hanumanji. Sakhya Shakti, the attitude of friendship towards Bhagavan. Perfect example is Arjuna and Uddhava. Many people, many bhaktas, they think like that. They just think Bhagavan as their friend and just open their mind to him. Sometimes they get, not sometimes, always they get answers in one form or other. In some way, he will answer us. So, thinking Bhagavan as our dear friend, we cannot trust anyone like that in this world. When we trust Bhagavan and tell our mind to him, in one way or other, he will reply us. So, that is Sakhya Shakti. In that way, we can connect to him. But all these are the initial stages. But later, it will all become Jnana. Vatsalya Shakti, The kindness and love, the connecting with Bhagavan as in kindness and love, that is, we can imagine Bhagavan as our child, Vatsalya Sakti, child, or a brother or a sister, or sometimes some bhaktas, they have this habit of connecting Bhagavan as their mother or that. So that is Vatsalya Shakti. Kanta Shakti, accepting Bhagavan as their beloved. Perfect example is the Gopikas, Radha, they and all the great examples for that. Accepting Bhagavan or thinking Bhagavan as the beloved and opening our mind to it. And in that way, we can connect to him and later on proceed in that state, merge in the state of jnana. Atma Nivedana Shakti, complete surrender to Bhagavan. Completely, I have done this to my maximum effort, I have put and I have done this. Now, whatever you give, I will accept. This Atma Nivedana Shakti. Bibhishana and Bali, they both did it. And Tanmayata Shakti, thinking Bhagavan is not different from me. Bhagavan is myself. He is not different from me. Why should I do puja? If he is different from me, then I have to do puja. He is myself. And Sanat Kumara Rishis, Yajnavalkya, they all thought like that. Bhagavan is myself. He is not different from me. Tanmayata Shakti, making him as our own, as our self. Parama Viraha Shakti. Parama Viraha Shakti means the that power of separation. The Gopikas experienced it. They cannot be without Bhagavan. That separateness, that itself will lead them to jnana. That's what Bhagavan Krishna said. They will unite with me in separateness, he said. Thinking always about Bhagavan because he has separated from me. If he was there in that Gokula itself, then they would have not thought like this. When he was separated from them, they always thought about Bhagavan. So that is the Parama Viraha Shakti. So these are some of the ways in which a bhakta can connect to Bhagavan. So whatever emotion, whatever attitude we take or we accept to connect with Bhagavan is not important. But connecting with Bhagavan is very important. Only then we can merge with him permanently, says Sage Narada. So this ends the Sutra 82. In my next video, we will see the last two sutras of the Narada Bhakti Sutras. Om Namo Narayanaaya.